The Law of the Living Witness. This work begins with a constitutional problem. Not monarchy, not ancestry, not romance. A problem of record power. Modern power does not always arrive with a sword, a sheriff, or a king's command. It arrives as data, as administrative identity, as a custody entry, as a disclosure file, as a copied date, as a name joined to another name, as a system that repeats itself until repetition begins to resemble truth. The legal question beneath this song is ancient. Can authority replace the living person with its own version of him? Magna Carta answers from the meadow. No person should be imprisoned, stripped of standing, or delayed justice by unsupported power. Modern justice must answer the same question again. When the state rights a person wrongly, when pressure is mistaken for choice, when attribution is treated as authorship, when distress is treated as disorder, when the record speaks louder than the witness, what law remains? This song is about that center. The living witness before the official version. The human fact before the file. Before the seal, before the page, before the clerkly hand, there stood a man with breath and name upon his native land. But paper learned another tune and sang it through the gate. A wrong thing passed from room to room, grew heavy with the state. A name was made uncertain, a date was made to stray. A record crossed a living life and would not move away. And when he said, "I know myself," the fire replied, "Be still." Thus error sat in judgment's chair and called itself the will. Bring forth the living witness, let paper face the man. No seal can make a falsehood clean, no office make it stand. Bring forth the living witness, let power prove its claim. The law is not the record's crown, the law must know the name. There is a word that guilt may speak and one that pressure gives. There is a voice from open ground and one that speaks to live. A door can teach a tongue to bend, a cage can shape a sound. A weary mouth may choose the sky while truth lies gagged and bound. So do not crown one syllable and call it all the soul. Do not take a pressured breath and make the person whole. For a law without the weather is only polished force. It sees the footprint in the mud but never asks the horse. Bring forth a living witness, let paper face the man. No seal can make a falsehood clean, no office make it stand. Bring forth a living witness, let power prove its claim. The law is not the record's crown, the law must know the name. The center is not pity, the center is not rage. The center is not ancient blood nor writing on a stage. The center is distinction between record and truth, between source and rumor, between sender and witness, between pressure and consent, between distress and madness, between a person and the version that power found convenient. This is the work of law, to separate, to weigh, to ask again, to refuse the laziness of finality when finality protects mistake. To say to every system, you may record, but you must not replace. You may accuse, but you must prove. You may remember, but you must remember rightly. Who are the barons now? Not mailed men at the flood, not castle lords with iron oaths and old rebellion's blood. The barons now are documents that stand against the throne. The birth, the log, a letter, the correction carved in stone. The medical page says look again, the data breach says wrong. The crossed out link, the altered file become the people's song. And every stubborn scrap declares what meadows knew before. No record is a sovereign, no error is the law. Bring forth a living witness, let paper face the man. No seal can make a falsehood clean, no office make it stand. Bring forth a living witness, let power prove its claim. The law is not the record's crown, the law must know the name. I claim no crown from history, no throne from John's old hand. I claim the common inheritance that power must understand. That justice is not delay, that process is not grace. That if the state has written wrong, the state must face the face. Not as a file, not as a ghost, not as a label made, but as the living witness who no record should degrade. For I was there before the ink, I breathed before the claim. And law, if law is worthy, must find me through my name. Bring forth a living witness, let paper face the man. No seal can make a falsehood clean, no office make it stand. Bring forth a living witness, let power prove its claim. The law is not the record's crown, the law must know the name. This is the law beneath the law. A person is not an administrative convenience. A person is not the sum of what systems repeat. The person is not made unreal because the record has learned the wrong shape.